looked like scary times over there. Let me just make sure I got us to the right place. I think we're on number Yud. So I think that's where we're at. I didn't mark it. Below it when I do that. No, I'm not on number Yud. We're number Yud Aleph. That's it. Number Yud Aleph says in let's see, we're rolling. Okay. Is that where we're at? 1 second. I know. Hang on. Just double checking because I got in late. Yeah, we'll try it from here. He says this pasuk without hepsek. He said, "Ki ein acharecha galus." After this, there's going to be no galus. Sheheba Pesach Shavuos, which is the concept of these two holidays that are really running together. So what's it all about? He says, Ki ein acharecha galus sheheba Pesach Shavuos. Ki Pesach hu bebechinas geula. It's the aspect of redemption. Rishon, it's the first redemption. She'oz oichlem matzah shuch bechinas chipazon. So what's chipazon? Kamosha kasav shivas yomim tochel olav. 7 days you shall eat matzahs. And then it says, the rest of the quote says, B'chipazon yodza, comes out in kipazon. So he said, well, what's shot in the word kipazon? V'zecha bebechinas rizus, it's urgency, it's a sense of urgency. Just richon his darav ma'od, his daris ma'od. V'los Hashem is rizus gada v'lo lidchos miyom l'chaveiro chas v'sholem. And this is what he says, that your avodas Hashem, no matter what's going on with you, you have to stay in it every single day because every day counts. That seems to be part of the theme here. This is the concept of counting the Omer. So therefore, when we start counting these 49 days, after the Shabbos are referring to the first day of Pesach, after Yom Rishon Shel Pesach, Shenikra Shabbos Kamosha Biras Rashi. Okay, so we have the concept of kipazon, that every day, no matter what's happening in your day, or no matter what problems, but the devotion has to be there anyway. He said, you have to urge yourself to do it. B'mei hasfira. What are the Mochim of Pesach? He says, this is the concept of this urgency. Bechinas kipazon. Raksha Pesach Mekabdem, we just want to put it on the side, that Pesach Mekabdem called the Mochim B'bas Achas, of the SEFIRAH Mekabdem Osa Mochim B'atzman B'chadroga. So we get him little by little every day, but call you SEFIRAH. He says, Avol B'Shvuos is different. Shechul B'Kabbalas the Torah, that's when the Torah is actually received. What's the Torah? He says, which is the concept of being freed, of being free, the ultimate redemption, Achrona. The pasuk in Yeshaya, he's saying lo b'chipazon teitzer v'nusa lo telechu. So now he goes to another theme. He said with urgency, a sense of urgency. We'll say call that what kipazon means right now. They'll go out. But in running away, fleeing, that's not the way they're going to go. So therefore we have to see like this. What are we doing? We're taking the two lechem, which I guess come in at Shavuos time. We're bringing it from chametz. In the Pesach is a time of no chametz. But this time we're bringing it from chametz. So the chametz hafenu, etc. The chametz hu be'ichar zaman b'chinas hamtanach now. So this goes to another theme that he's promoting here. And this is a difficult theme for me because I don't have a lot of patience. And here's what his theme wants to go. So it's really putting time, delaying things. It's a kind of waiting. Not to break through, destroy, in order to break the boundaries, I guess he means to say. Not to run up to try to enter into Hashem and get close like that. But only through a certain amount of zrizos. because hamtona, waiting, patience, is really important. Where that quote, they say to him, wait. So what does the mating come from? And I don't really remember this, him developing this metaphor over earlier. He says, because the Shemesh, which is what we actually get at Shavuos. It's the, so to speak, the ultimate, well, I don't want to use the word prize, but that's the idea, the ultimate goal. Shuhu Lashon Hamtona, which is really Keser, he says, is really the concept of waiting. This is the concept of getting to the ultimate geula that has no interruption. Because when a person is able to get to that level by using the concept of waiting, or putting a waiting thing. So you have two opposite themes. One is you can't put it off because you have to be urgent about it, but at the other time it requires waiting. So now here's a new idea. Then a person could marry the gula, a complete gula. Which is the gula? The gula is shleima begalus nafsho, the fact that our souls, our neshamos, are in galus. They're exiled from, there's a disconnect between the neshama and I would say that way, and the nefesh. What your bodily needs are, there's a disconnect between that and the higher level, the geula shleima begalus nafsho, because of the fact that our nefesh is in galus. So in the end, because what happens in the end of our lives is that sooner or later we're going to come to the end of our lives. Sof called Sof Yashuv El Hashem. Your neshama is going to back to Hashem, irregardless of what you did. And He'll have mercy upon you. Because the chesed of Hashem doesn't have an end. But it was a quote in Habakkuk. Al mishmarte amodav es yatzva. So he said, on my watch, I will stand. I think it means, from the art scroll, it means I will stand and I will be in a position to fight. Ki od chazon lamoed, because the time is going to come. It's going to come. Im yisma meya chake. So if it's going to be delayed, also from Habakkuk over there, im yisma meya chake, you have to wait. Even though it's delayed in coming, chakelo, wait for it, because it's coming. That's really what's talking about when we speak of the ultimate redemption. That also goes with every man and every time. Because this is really what needs to happen. The main geula is the redemption of our souls, to bringing our souls back in line with our neshamos, bringing back into the ability to be able to be one with Hashem. And even though we're saying like this, you have to urge yourself. You have to run away. You have to find to run away from what? To have his soul flee, in other words, from the tivus, etc., of this world, which really caused the geula of our souls. So he says, even so, but then you see that it's held your geula of your soul. You're not really coming to oneness between, I'm using this in my way of thinking, between your nefesh and your neshama, that like Rabbi Mimran, you're trying to find the real you in there. He says, even though that it's hard, also harbe, that it held up a lot. That's where you have to strengthen yourself. The hamtin in the way harbe. The shuaso yashkish. I think if you look out, v'yera Hashem b'shemayim, and you'll actually be able to achieve. I think that's a concept of that oneness that we're talking about, because he's going between, the politics of the world in which we live and we see what's happening around us, and the fact that our souls are in tremendous galus as well. I will always wait. Which is the concept here of the ultimate geula. Every day you have to fall on your face, so to speak. The live codes for the Hischanim cry and to plead, Harbe Lefonav Yisbarach Sheyamacher Geulasenu, that he will speed up our ability to be able to become one with him again. Take of him miyad ki arach aleinu hagalos v'kashach v'koyach hasabel, so the ability to be able to handle the long galos that we're in for so many hundreds, thousands of years, that's really more than we can bear. Even though looking at your own life, that you're not actually able to make that yichud with Hashem, and that you want to, you have to keep waiting more and more. If he's hold back, if it's delayed, wait for him. That he certainly will come. And I think lo ya'acher means that the ultimate time will not be put off, it will happen. Because really, if you look at it, let's look at you and me, let's look at us. Because this is really specifically because every single man, even though you have to cry out to Hashem a lot, Hashem Yisbarach, and beg him, al nafsho, that your God said on your particular soul, that you should be that you could get it out of the drudgery of the way that you look at, right? So all of the nonsense that we have in this world, to be able to redeem ourselves, we have to cry and constantly strive to get out of it, or to get beyond it, or as Rabbi Memon would say, would be able to look at it in a way without being totally emotionally involved in what's going on. Even so, even you see that it's delayed tremendous amount, to wait, and to wait a long time, one generation to the next. And maybe Hashem will see you in your low state, because he's not always going to be fighting with us. And that's like Yiktov, he's not going to be angry with us all the time. So maybe you could look at it like this: why is it that it's taking so long? So let me read it again. Which is really, we're holding it back. Because we're not fit. The way that we behave and the way that we live our lives, we're not really fit. Even if he's like he is, and the person is who he is, and the madrega that he's afal pike. Calls the man as long as a person is told that he's hanging his eyes, or he's looking towards the maron, and he guards and he looks for umamtim, and he waits the shuah, so he's bar for Hashem Yeshua. In this way that he'll get pity. What is the ultimate thing anyway? Is to be closer, become closer to the service of Hashem, be'emes, v'yischafek kol v'tova, and everything will turn around to him and be good. Now there's another one. So this is the concept. So this is what he says, is that you have to know that that is our situation. Our souls are in galus, and we have trouble getting back together. Let me get started with the next one, because we have just a few minutes, and we'll have to come back to it, but I just want to hear the words a little bit more. So that is patience, very difficult thing as you look at life. So he says that a day is going to come where the watchman will call out from Har Ephraim. Now, I'm not sure what I would have thought that meant, but here he says in Perish Rashi, Lashon Shmira, Kolomer, Yesh Yom Sheyikra Osam, that they will call them, I guess those who kept their Torah, V'yomer Kumo, and then will say, rise up. Ayin Sham Hainu, Ki Mishahu Notze V'shomer B'mamten D'shuas Hashem. B'vaday Yesh Lo Yom, this day will come. Ki Sof Kol Sof Yedira Yom, that day will come, Shehu Mitzafer Sheyizka, the Hiskar of Allah Yisbarach, that he'll look out and be able to merit, to come close to Hashem Yisbarach, but B'chinas Ki Yesh Yom Kara Notzrim, that day that the Notzrim, the watchers, will call B'Har Ephraim, kumu v'na'ala. What would they say? Get up and go up. Bechinas yom ku v'adecho yavo. So he said, it's a day. Your testimony or your witnesses will come. Shene'ema gam came al geluos al geula achrona. It's also referring to that, he says. Shehu b'bechinas shavuos, which is what? All of that day. What's that day? That day is the concept of shavuos, when that oneness will really come. Shavuos shehu gemar tikun asvira, which is the completion of the counting. Because all the counting is only for one purpose. That ultimately down that road you're going to get to the 50th day, Shehu Shavuos, which is Shavuos. He says, Sha'az Zochem Lebechinas Kesser. That's when the concept of Kesser, we talked about Kesser before. Shehu Bebechinas Hamtana, which is a concept of waiting. So like I said, I don't really recall the metaphor there, how they got together, those two ideas. He says, Ki be'emes ikra tikun bechinas severe bechu kashazoichen leshavuos shechir bechinas hamtonu shechir dahainu ki bechinas severe hu sorok ha'anim kol yemei chayav lizkor ma'od b'chol yom v'yom shehu mandoch v'som b'mizbech v'cheshbon, that every single day is counted kedei le'shi yizgaver la'asok bo avodas Hashem, and so that day is there for a person should strengthen himself, come closer to avodas Hashem, call masha yuchel as much as possible. But even after all this, even the person's accountant, or he's looking at his life in a way like that, he's watching everything. He has that in mind. He knows. It's there no matter what. But Prat Keneged Misha wrote to the Kneid Bavos Hashem. Alkain Yochel Lichi Yosh Al Pi Kain Yisbarach Yisgaver Keneged Rabal Dover Chaz V'Shalom. You try to get holy, he comes after you. V'yavav the V'dasa Chaz V'Shalom. Lo Dai Loch Bezeki Im Sheyirtza Chaz V'Shalom Chayidecha Bezech of the story you made Spirit Lomar. So they said this is what the Yetzer Hara wants to do. It wants to say that to destroy, to knock down the sphere, the counting that you're doing. Lomer ma beisa shes tizbach bechas yimech. So what does it do? What good does it do? Because eva tachshav alach misachon. You should always be, but think, he says, about your end. Because yom ma'achar she'atach ha'hulo she'im kol zecha be'edach ha'poil l'kiyos k'ritzono. I guess he means to say that like that. Yisbarach be'emes ki nashusach v'chas. He says that dry up, all of this is going against you. I will stop the gamri chas v'shalom. That could happen. I just can't do it anymore. This bore as Yoma, that we have started taking a cheshbon on my day. What am I doing with myself? Hello, afal pig, and even so, yavu kitzai, the kitzai, my end will come. V'ukrach, and I will be forced, liten din v'cheshbon bekol yom v'yom al kain. I'm going to have to give account of what they do with my day. So whatever, if they're coming after him, al mishmarti, al mishmarti emad, where we say that in my guard or my watch here, it says, I will stand up, the shmov l'tzafa l'hamta l'shuas Hashem. So he says, this is what you need to do. You have to be realistic. Let me see, I got this offline here. So you have to be realistic. He said, I got to eat whatever I can get. So he says, I have to do according to my ability any day, whatever I can get. Yom ma'at, maybe you take a little bit of a mitzvah, you take a whole lot. So I can take a little bit, I can eat, I can drink it like that. The ananba, because this world, it's like a place of tremendous possibility of celebration. Because we're talking about eating Torah, mitzvah, shenikra achila. K'moshe kazav l'hula l'achma v'lachmini, v'lachmi, l'ksheyiyah chazek v'ame b'derek zeh, Sheyimdar v'yisbarach as Yamav afal pikein shenidbarach lo she'en liyotzach u'b'chol b'sayom, even though that he's not really getting anything done, afilu im ha'emes hukach, but that's really what he's trying to do. He says, afal al pikein lo yistar sviralsa b'shvil zeh, because you're so many bilvulim, but you never stop counting. Yeah, afal pikein, afal pi she'en liyotzi Yedei Chavasa B'Kol Yom Afal Pikein Yomim Menuyim B'Sipurim Alkein Anim B'Chuyev L'Sum Kol Libi U'Megamti, everything that I'm trying to do, V'Tikfasi L'Hamtein L'Tzafos L'Yeshua Hashem Kanal. V'Az Daika Yuchol L'Kayim B'Chinet Mitzvah Sefirah Kol Yomav. That's how you could take a sefirah of every single one of the days of your life. Nimsher Shadai Kol Yedecha B'Chinet Aramtona Shuhu B'Chinet Shavuos. Yochol lahamshik atzmo al atzmo bechinet mitzvah sefirah kol yomav ki yizke lachshov al yomav b'kol yom v'lachata v'mad. Get whatever you can, grab what you can. Masha uchol, get the low hanging fruit. Get what's easy to get. Because the person's thinking about his end. B'kol yom, that you have to think about every single day. V'ad b'vadach yizke sheyagir yom yishuasa sheyizkarv l'Hashem yizbarach b'bechinet Yesh Yom Kara notes, and there's going to be a day where the Notrim are going to call out. Notrim Daika, he said the watchers or the guarders particularly, Shul Lashon Shmira V'Hamtana. Also, he wants to go like that. That's it. Thanks for waiting, Rabbi. Thanks.